One of the best ways to create a memorable and engaging minor character is to have mysteries and hidden details that you don't give answers to. Encouraging the audience to be imaginative and think deeply about your characters is critical to engagement. And this is especially important for side characters who are easy to forget due to their irrelevance. Letting characters keep their secrets gives them long-lasting intrigue, encouraging the viewer to use their imagination to come up with the answer themselves. So I have two characters that I'll be talking about to illustrate this point. Mikitaka from Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, and 13 from My Hero Academia. Both of these characters have unique designs and an element of mystery to them. Neither of these characters was especially important in their series long term, and are from a series with a massive cast of characters. They had a few moments where they assisted the main characters, but they did not contribute much to the overall story, and mainly existed to add flavor to the world. But for me, Mikitaka is one of the most memorable side characters in Jojo. Meanwhile, 13 was a waste of potential who could have had the same position for MHA. There will be minor spoilers for both Jojo and MHA. So, Mikitaka Hazakura is a citizen of Morio from Part 4 of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamond is Unbreakable. Part 4 uses the power system of stand abilities, obtained primarily by being pierced with the stand arrow. In Mikitaka's introduction, the stand arrow bounces off of him, which has never happened before in Jojo. When Josuke meets him, Mikitaka introduces himself as an alien. He can drastically transform his body, being able to become functional objects like rocket shoes and dice, and has an allergic reaction to loud sounds. The big mystery surrounding this character is whether he is an alien as he claims, or if he is just another weirdo stand user. Jojo was already a very weird series, but aliens were a new element of weirdness. It is specifically because of Jojo's existing weirdness that it could definitely go both ways. A stand user who has fully deluded themselves into thinking that they're an alien would not be hard to accept. Aliens would not be out of left field in a series with soul warriors, sun magic, and vampires. The truth about his identity is never confirmed, and this is what makes him a memorable and engaging character. He was written in a way that stimulates the viewer's imagination. It makes you contemplate this character on a deeper level than just another weirdo of the week. The viewer is left to decide for themselves based on the clues. This is what makes him a memorable and especially engaging character. Despite being introduced in the manga all the way back in 1994 and 2016 in the anime, he is still talked about to this day. The mystery of his true identity keeps the community discussing him long after he became irrelevant. Practically every single year, someone puts out a new video discussing his character on YouTube. You can go look for yourself, especially if you want to get a more deep dive into him specifically as a character. There's lots of great videos on it. This year, I get to be one of those people singing his praise. Every time you rewatch Part 4 and get back to him, all your questions and theories come flooding back. This is only possible because the answer was not given. I do not want to know whether he truly is an alien or not. The fun is in not knowing. And I'm glad that I never got the answer. Knowing less about his character made him into a character that is so much more. And now for the contrary, we have 13 from My Hero Academia. Space Hero 13 is a professional hero who can create black holes out of her fingertips. The most striking thing about her to me is her hero costume design and how it pairs with her quirk. It is very similar to a traditional bulky astronaut suit, but unlike a traditional spacesuit, her face is hidden by a helmet, which is black with white spots for eyes. An astronaut with black hole powers is a simple but fun match, and I really like how the black dome with eyes almost looks like a black hole itself. And as a black hole destroys what goes inside it, it's fitting for it to hide the person beneath. Many of the characters had a hero costume that did not clearly show their identity, but this was still more interesting than them because of how it fits with her quirk. She spends most of the story without showing her body under her hero costume. Just from her introduction, I already liked her more than most of the other side characters based on these reasons. And then we have this very cool moment later where her costume gets torn and all we see is a black void under it. This moment got my imagination flowing. It made me wonder, Is she more like a living black hole, similar to someone like Kurogiri? Kurogiri is in that scene, so it facilitates that comparison even more. Is her human body maybe inside a black hole? Or did she put black holes around her whole body in self-defense and to hide her identity? This took the mystery of her character and dialed it up even more, driving me to be even more interested in her and mentally engage with the story. But then, late in the series, 13 flips up a visor on her suit, and we see what she looks like. I'm not showing it to you because I don't want to spoil it, because honestly, it's lame. Not because it's a particularly bad design or anything though. How she looks is not the point. Nothing under the mask would have satisfied me, because I did not want to see what was under the mask. The face reveal just felt pointless to me. It did not even have any dramatic weight or purpose. It just happened as if it was something they felt they had to do before the story ended. It was really disappointing, and it took away the most interesting part of her character for me. I recognize that 13 was likely not written with quite as strong an intent for mystery as Mikitaka, because he was very much intended to be this mysterious character exactly as we interpreted him. But she still applies to my point about how hidden details make for more interesting characters. The loss of her hidden detail destroyed most of what made her a fun character for me. When they showed what she looked like, they turned an ambiguous character design into just another human in a costume. There's nothing to think about anymore concerning her character if I go back and rewatch or read MHA. All stories have elements of mystery that get revealed later, and there is often value in returning to the earlier parts with that information in mind. But there is no deeper meaning to be enjoyed with hindsight here. I feel that 13 is simply a more boring character now. By revealing more about her character, she became less of a character. Just because a character has a minor role does not mean they can't be beloved and held onto strongly by fans. Adding elements of uncertainty to a character is one way to make them a stronger character without increasing their relevance. I love Mikitaka because he's a character who presented me with the opportunity to be imaginative and think about him and the world of Jojo more deeply. This led to him being a very memorable and fun character who stands out amongst this massive cast, even if you compare him to a lot of the main characters. 13 for me initially did this, but then they spoiled the fun for, in my opinion, absolutely nothing in return. And that's why I call her a wasted opportunity. All characters don't need mysteries, but providing mysteries is a great way to engage the viewer and elevate a character. It also helps to foster long-term engagement in the community, such as people making videos like I'm doing right now. Mikitaka is a character that I and others have thought about for years after he became irrelevant. Meanwhile, sadly, I cannot see that happening for 13. So, if you have any characters that you think my theory, thesis, whatever way of thinking you want to call it, if you have any characters that you think are better off for having been less explained, or a character you found yourself liking less after having something revealed, then please do share. Or if you disagree and have feelings in the opposite direction that aren't like just obvious reveals that are meant to spoil things, like you get what I mean, then please share if you disagree with my theory. Obviously, I'm not trying to say this applies to every single character reveal and things like that. But on the topic of making characters interesting, especially these side characters, this is a great opportunity to create a character like Mikitaka who has long-standing relevance and like staying power in your mind because of these mysteries, despite being a side character. So this is just my opinion, and I'd be happy to hear yours. Yeah, thank you very much for listening. You can check out the write-up of this on my website in the description, and thank you very much.